I need to get a shower. We are live. That's nice to see that live button for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while since I think the week before Extreme Rules. We were saying.
WWE confirmed Survivor Series. Jeez, straight off the bat. What is the Survivor Series main event? Raw, the brand supremacy. Can't wait. Buzzing.
Yeah, the draft
Um,
just happened, so great.
yep. Um, okay, yeah, they're doing the two top champions. Never mind. Of course. But yeah. Okay, there's a title change in NXT last night that I didn't know about either. Might want to read them results. Oh yeah, because your man, yeah, I understand why. Swerve Scott, the Hit Row, you know that Hit Row faction, they got called up to the main roster,
Oh yeah,
so Swerve had to lose the belt. So, um, yeah, so we're gonna get into everything. I put it up on the socials, and I'm going to start into it now. Do you remember the intro, Kieran? Or do you need a script? We'll start a new one.
yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna.
I have music very low in the background in my earphones, so I hope people can't hear that. Hope
It's
we
like,
don't get
no,
taken down by Twitch.
I can't hear it, and if you just slip in the song, that'll be quite funny. Just completely ignore just completely ignore what we're like doing, and just slip into song. I realized when I put it on my Snapchat, I put it on my private story, so you're really limiting what people can see there. In well done.
You always put everything you put on your main story onto your private story as
I don't
well.
post
I
on my
have to see it twice.
I don't post on my main story that much anymore, to be honest.
Yeah, you
Because I
used
haven't
to a
been.
lot.
I used to a lot because of this podcast, but we've been gone for a bit. Yeah, how have you been, Kieran?
I've been pretty good. We're in college. I feel like that's the main reason it hasn't happened because between
It's so
college and
tough.
work,
It's so
timetable is
tough.
so fucked.
Yeah,
I'm
it's so
never
tough.
free.
Well, we'll talk about that in our intro, but I think we should just get started. Let's get straight into it. So whenever you are ready, we can kick straight into it.
Hello, and welcome to the return of the Hallway Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Kieran Brennan. With me, as always, my co-host.
The man that genetics forgot rain, and the man that time and the heck time and availability forgot as well. I think we're both the same. We're back here.
We are.
I'd like to
I'm
say
worried, Reen. I'm worried what people will think now that our millions and millions of euro revenue has been leaked from Twitch.
yeah,
Yeah.
and put into like. I mean, I've bought a lot of alcohol in college. I've spent it all. Oh, sorry, guys. All the millions that we earned is down the drain now.
I've mostly invested in stocks and donated it to Republican politicians in the US, even though I'm Irish. So I hope people don't get too crazy about that.
Yeah, you've invested heavily in Miami.
Yeah, I
You're
love
trying.
Miami.
You're trying to do that. You're trying to do that McGregor thing and get the key to the city.
I just want the key,
You just
and then
want
I'm
the
gonna
key.
leave.
Yeah. I love the idea of getting the keys to the city. It's just a massive key.
Yeah,
It's like,
just a huge key, and just keep it in your shed.
I guarantee if you had a key to a city, Kieran, you'd walk up to the border and pretend to open the door.
Oh, of course, you'd have to every day. You'd never get tired of it. Like,
Just stepping in an imaginary. The forbidden door.
yeah,
Yeah, the
welcome to my
forbidden door.
house, babe.
Welcome
Come
to
on
my
in.
house. But yeah, it's been a while. I don't know exactly. I think the last episode I just checked had CM Punk returned, so that just shows how long it's been. But yeah, it's good to be back.
Really? So have we talked about All In?
We didn't talk about All Out. That we watched All Out together, and then we
Oh,
were
I
meant to
don't.
record, but we
Yeah.
just couldn't because of college starting and stuff. That it was college. It was the build up to college, and then I think you were working and I was working. It's just crazy. But All Out
Well,
was
then I'm gonna throw the gauntlet down, Rain. I'm gonna say the biggest thing that's happened since we stopped doing this or whatever. I watch AW weekly now, and it's quite good. It's the
yeah,
only wrestling show that I watch in full weekly.
yeah. Do you
Most
want to
people,
do you want to tell the listeners the story of how you got like invested in AEW Weekly? Because before you were kind of reluctant, and then how your experience has been. Because we'll talk about the episode this week, but let's give your general thoughts. Because we're not going to be able to talk about every episode that we've missed, but just give your general
mm,
thoughts on production, the storylines, what you like, what you didn't like. Because there's a few things that I Cody Rhodes. Sorry, Cody. I don't want to hit you away down, but yeah, just to give your thoughts on AEW, the last month in AEW.
Yeah, well, long-time listeners will know that when AEW started, we watched it weekly for like a month, and then I would slowly fall off, and I'd keep more and more to date. And then I feel like over the last year, it's very much been you talk about AEW, and I'm quiet because
Yeah,
I don't know, there's something off about it. It was the way a new company starts, where it's not perfect, and then Punk comes back, so I'm like, well, shit, okay, I guess I'm definitely watching All Out. So decided to keep up weekly, and then Daniel Bryan comes, and I'm definitely watching weekly at that point. And I just have been since. They've kind of kept me interested, and I think not everything's great, not everything's perfect, but overall, I think it's a really good show. They do a really good job of kind of keeping you going week to week and letting you know what's happening
their
next week
promo
without
pack, their Tuesday.
canceling everything.
Yeah, their promo packages on the Tuesday beforehand. That I don't know if you've seen them on YouTube. They just do a great job of getting you hyped for the show and getting you caught up.
I'm
On
very much in the I'm watching Dynamite. I'm not watching Rampage or any of the YouTube show stuff because that'll be the point where I'm like, there's too much. I can't keep up. Um, like even when I know I might watch Suzuki versus Bryan, which we'll talk about in a minute on a Rampage buy-in, but like for the most part, I'm sticking to Dynamite. I haven't really even the Grand Slam Rampage stuff. I didn't watch.
yeah, the Grand. Oh man, that was a really nice like Punk's return match has been good, but
Mm,
Omega and Brian Danielson, man,
incredible,
what a match,
incredible.
what a
Easily
match.
one of the matches of the year. Easily.
It will be up. It will be up there. Like it was just Danielson. There, you could tell that like he has a. He actually came out this week and said that his he wasn't clear from W because he was faking medical. I think he was saying to people that he was okay when he wasn't, which is what he
Yeah.
would do. And you can tell because Brian Danielson is he's not like he's not like going out there and really put like he is putting his body in harm a lot more in harm than Daniel Bryan did, but as long as he's staying safe, some of the moves that he was doing were insane. His chest was getting cut up. The the atmosphere before the match. I've never heard a crowd so loud
Yeah.
before someone lock up. And they took a while to get into like the wrestling bit because they did a few lockups, a few teases, but the crowd stayed so invested. That was a really, really hot crowd.
This is a dream match, and I feel like for a few years, it's kind of like we hadn't seen anything that was a dream match is like, yeah, we're looking forward to it, but it's not a dream match. But Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson is a dream fucking match. That's massive to happen. Like, and
Yeah,
I
and
like that it felt like they were kind of holding back a bit as well, even if the match was great. So we'll get like an either better match on pay-per-view sometime in the near future, hopefully. Which is
yeah,
crazy.
no, yeah, and there was a lot of fear when all these people came back of a certain um cowboy who wasn't showing up to work, but they've booked it. I got to commend them for booking it really, really well. They do this a lot. They make their debuts, and then their debuts have to earn their wins and losses. So Danielson had a match against Nick Jackson on Rampage, which was fantastic again because Nick Jackson is a very good singles wrestler. I think he's the best singles wrestler at the Young Bucks individually. Um, and then he's having a match against Bobby Fish this week, who debuted last week. Um, Danielson just seems to be loving life. He was in the 8-man tag on Dynamite on the anniversary show, which I thought was a fantastic opener. Ken, I just thought it was batshit mental.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I don't. That's another thing I like about AEW because I don't think that particular 4-on-4 thing is going to go on for too much longer or whatever.
no,
But they're really good at building these very short term feuds that build to a match like that quick
yeah,
opener or whatever. Because that's I think because they came out. Brian helped them in his debut or whatever. And then the next 3 weeks, they kind of built them a bit more. Every week,
yeah,
there'd
but that,
be a big brawl, and then it's a big match, and it was a really
yeah,
good match. I like that.
they're not buddy, but like they're just united to take down the elite.
Mm.
Adam Cole has been fantastic. I just love Adam Cole. The shit eating grin and the kind of the running the ropes and then doing the Adam Cole baby. I like that. I like
His
that
theme
stuff.
is good. It's catchy,
His team
frustratingly almost.
is so good. Daniel Bryan's one is kind of warming to me. I realize why it's different, but um but yeah, no, I think that's a good segue to we were talking about that for. We'll just get into and talking about the Dynamite anniversary show, but overall, oh sorry, we need to keep going with Kieran's review. The set and stuff is kind of normal.
Yeah, it's
But
still the
any,
same. They've
yeah,
fixed a lot of the audio problems I had. There was a
mm,
lot of audio issues. The one guy who I fucking hate on mic, I was saying this to you a few weeks ago. MJF, he's got like X-Pac heat for me. I skip his segments because he screams into the mic, and it's like it actually hurts my ears. So I really don't like him. I'm pretty sure if I saw him live, because I think if they came to the UK, we'd probably go.
I've
I'd
seen
have a
him
look
live.
anyway. I'd see what the tickets were.
He was. We've seen him live, Kieran. He was at OTT.
Oh my gosh, we did.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. We also saw Darby Allin live. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, he's in a few with Darby Allin at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Any wrestlers that you're really liking right now from the women's side and the men's side? I'm just gonna say right at the bat. I have all of my eggs in the Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy basket. I think they are both fantastic.
Yeah.
I just love. I
They
think
are pretty
Jungle
good.
Boy.
I do like them. I don't know.
Oh,
I think they've done. Luchasaurus especially was like a big name when they first started, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't actually. He was kind of like an indie. They were both on the
No, I
indies.
just mean like in terms of when the first episode came out, everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, Luchasaurus!"
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah. And to be honest, he's over as fuck. And I just think Jungle Boy is a really, really good in the ring. Like really, really good.
Yeah.
And some of the moves he does are really, really good.
No, he's solid. Like I don't know if anyone in the women's division sticks out purely because I feel like they haven't done much with it as of late.
They're doing better. Serena Deeb, that heel turn this week, that was good. She's very good in the ring.
Yeah.
I think Jade Cargill has a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential with Jade Cargill if they just. Britt Baker obviously is fantastic.
Ruby Soho is pretty good. I do like
Ruby
her.
Soho, yeah. Oh yeah, she's another return.
Of course, yeah.
Really, really good in the ring. I just need to see her get her teeth into a storyline. The new belt was announced.
The TBS Championship.
Yeah, it's like the TNT belt. If you want to build up stars, then give them a shot at that and see what happens. I'm interested to see what happens with that.
Do you think they're committed enough to the women's division to justify having a second belt on there? Do you think they should focus more on the main belt first?
In the last few weeks, they've started like having more than one women's feud. They had a feud on Darkman, Diamante, and Big Swole. They've had like a couple of matches. They've had a lot of stuff with Ty Conti and the Bunny, and Anna Jay. So yeah, no, I do enjoy it. But they do need to. Yeah, there is a lot of room for improvement with the booking. Like a lot of room for improvement with the booking, but overall, I do enjoy the women's division is in a lot better place than it was. Let's just say that. It's probably the best kept.
It was a big dark spot for ages on the show. It was everyone's massive complaint.
And then any other matches in the last few weeks that have really like stood out to you before we get into this? Just going through the show last week because it was a huge anniversary show. But is there any matches that in particular that you really enjoyed or remind you of any matches that you liked in the past?
Moxley Suzuki was great. I really like that. He's fucking great, Moxley. Oh my gosh, he really is having his best time. He feels almost separate from the rest of the show because he feels like he is just there to almost just pop the crowd. Like he doesn't actually give a shit. He's not part. He doesn't. I don't know. It's weird to describe.
I'll talk about him in the main event.
Out in the crowd and everything. It's just very cool.
I'll talk about him in this main event. Moxley Suzuki was great, and the fact that the Suzuki incident was trending on Twitter, and that's how they set up the tag match. That was hilarious. Moxley went and fought Nick Gage at GCW. I don't know if you saw that, Kieran, but
I did.
His back. Oh my god, that was grim. But like the man is just loving life. He was in another indie promotion like Defy or something. Moxley just loves life, and that's beautiful. That's a really beautiful thing. And the fella is just so good. And I love the entrance. Eddie Kingston coming out to 20,000 people. Arthur Ashe was another moment for me that I was like, fucking hell, that's great. But any other matches that caught your fancy? I thought Moxley and Suzuki was great for like I like the 11-minute main events, really quick, really all action.
The Sting match was all right.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing well.
FTR are really good. They are just very, very good at what they do.
I feel like all the stuff with Tully Blanchard, it's probably appealing to an audience a lot older than us. Maybe that's them trying to get that older demo that NXT seemed to have on lockdown. Because I think the average age of the NXT viewer is like 65 or something.
I don't know how. I don't understand where that comes from. I genuinely don't understand where that comes from.
The 65-year-olds.
Yeah, Mandy Rose is getting half them like fucking cardiac arrest.
I'm pretty sure. I would be almost certain that it's like people. Like the owner of the TV is 65, so it's marked as a 65-year-old, but it's really their 8-year-old kid watching it.
Oh yeah, that could be a thing.
I'm almost certain that's it because I don't think any 65-year-olds are sitting through fucking NXT every week, especially not NXT 2.0. Like
which we'll get on.
it's such a different vibe or whatever. The old NXT, especially the kind of rock and roll alt shit or whatever. You don't imagine 65-year-olds really gelling with that. So
No, this. So yeah, you said Moxie Suzuki and the Sting matches. Sting, they've done Sting very well. I like it. The no selling stuff is funny when you do it the odd time.
mm.
It's good stuff. But yeah, so we might as well just get into the
Anniversary show.
anniversary review. We opened with that 8-man tag. I like the way that they cut to the chase. They said the entrances were going to be on Instagram and we're going to get straight into the action. So the show opened with the 4 of them in the ring. I like that. It's something different. We're not going to talk about every spot here. I really like the Jungle Boy Hurricane Rana to the outside with no hands over the rope. That's just insane. I don't know how you do that. The Cole and the Young Bucks, I personally might take away from this, Kieran. I don't know what you think, but a lot of people do think this because of the Ring of Honor days. When they are building to whatever split in the Bullet Club, I have a feeling that Cole and the Bucks are going to turn on Omega because Cole and the Bucks as a trio are for me better than Kenny Omega and the Bucks as a trio.
Well, Kenny Omega's he's always very much been a singles wrestler. Like all his big matches, at least, are the singles ones. So he's the one who I feel would be safest working on his own if they were to split up.
And I think him turning babyface and having the Cole and the Bucks, like just the shit eating grins and the arrogance is just suits it down to the ground. Whereas I feel with Kenny, I just don't like Kenny on the mic.
Really? I think he's okay.
He's okay, but he's very, very, very kind of different. Whereas I think if you're looking for a proper heel, I think like Cole and the Bucks. I think I hate to say it, but I just love for them to pay some nice money to Michael Nakazawa and Brandon Cutler and tell them to sit backstage. Some of it is good, but they just look so out of place for me. I really love the cattle mutilation, Kieran. I don't know if you were only introduced to the cattle mutilation. One of Danielson's famous signature moves recently, but it looks brutal, and it's so good.
Oh, is there a reason why he didn't use that? He hasn't used it for a while there.
I think it's quite a serious looking move, but I think WWE just wanted to change him. Like, I don't know what he thinks. I don't think he likes the S chance either. But
he said that he legally and out of respect won't do them, or maybe not legally. It's like he was asked not to do them, which is fair enough. But I can't imagine he'd be annoyed at them happening. It's kind of his thing.
Yeah.
What do you think? Go on.
I'm saying, what do you think of the rumor of Vince saying that he could do the G1? I'm assuming Vince had to ask someone what the G1 was, but apparently before he left, Vince was offering
to. From what I've gathered, the entire thing was like, we will let you wrestle anywhere, do indie shows, do New Japan shit. We do not care. Just don't go to AEW or I presume Impact as well, because that's another competitor in quotation marks. But like, it didn't bite. He wanted to go to AEW. It's simple as that.
Yeah. But next up after that, so we had the Jungle Boy got pinned with 4 BT triggers. Luchasaurus' hot tag was amazing. Any other thoughts on this match, Kieran? I just thought Luchasaurus' hot tag was amazing. The dives were great. Danielson was fantastic. The Young Bucks been just shit eating heels. I think this match was like a throwback to like those opening the PWG tag match where it was just a lot of fun, but there was storyline in this. Christian obviously got taken out as well with the probably the most naff move of the match. The Meltzer driver to the outside didn't really work, but I thought it did its purpose and it was really, really fun while also being just not like completely ignorant to the storylines.
It was a good hot open to the show. It just worked. You're right. It was just a fun match.
Too serious, and next up, we had Chick Magnet Punk. My guy, talking about people who are loving life. CM Punk, my man, is loving life, and he is out, and he is still getting a huge reaction. He had a video this week where he, those like YouTube channels who get people to go and buy like Jordans and shoes.
Yeah.
So he bought like €1,800 worth of shoes, and he was like, "Why am I doing this?" And he was like scared to put the card in the machine. Moxley actually started before that. Moxley could promo saying no one can pin us or him. Now it's time to put ladders in the ring, and he was just Moxley promo, fantastic. Punk came out. He talks about how he moved to Philadelphia in 2002, wrestled part of the week, and trained wrestlers for the rest of the week because he loved wrestling. Using the money in Philadelphia, he bought an iPod and a laptop because he was rich. He wasn't rich enough money because of the wrestling culture. Punk's promos just get everyone on their side. And then he said, now I'm back and I'm not tired of this, so I want to give it back. You can have your pick. I'll wrestle tonight or buy everyone cheesesteaks. And he was like, he was like, is it cheesesteaks or cheesecake? And the fans just went mental. And Punk just goes, there was someone who tried to end this journey at the start. Daniel Garcia, who by the way is it was on the way to being wrestler of the year.
Yeah.
Daniel Garcia in 4 days, Kieran, fought Punk, Suzuki, what's his name? The guy who Davey Richards and like Alex Shelley in 4 days. Those four names. He is insane. The man is, and I think he's very, very good in the ring. So he called out Daniel Garcia. And anytime, Kieran, do you find this? Anytime Punk opens his mouth and mentions someone on the AW roster, their stock just goes up. It's scary how much power that man has in that pipe bomb microphone.
Yeah, no, but of course he does. It's Punk, and he seems to be using it wisely. He's not overdoing it just yet.
No, I like the match.
I wonder when he will get his hands on like a meteor story though.
No, that's coming soon. But I like the mini story with Will Hobbs and the Team Taz stuff. I enjoyed that for what it was.
Do you think they have a long-term plan for him, or is it going to be kind of booking by the minute?
I'd love to see him and Ricky Starks. I think him and Ricky Starks on the mic would be great. But I think the long-term plan, I think Hangman wins the belt. We'll talk about him later. But I think Hangman wins the belt. I think I don't think he'll have a longish title run. I think he'll have like one pay-per-view, maybe 1.5. I don't think he needs a long title run. I just think we need that moment. I think my pitch would be MJF to take it off him and MJF and Punk feud into late 2022. I think that'd be an amazing storyline. I know you don't like him, but I think MJF and Punk on the mic would be very, very good. I think Punk would help refine. I don't think there'd be any of the kind of, we'll just pick like the low hanging fruit. Even though that has worked, I think Punk could really, really help MJF round it out. Even though like a lot of people do like him, and maybe do you think Punk could in some way make MJF tolerable for you by just kind of focusing on just really, really good like kind of back and forths, and then obviously MJF can go in the ring. People forget that, but I wonder what your thoughts would be on that, because we know it is all coming. Like everyone has been saying, MJF, like when he was on the mic, even though you don't agree, is kind of a CM Punk guy. It's like a CM Punk similar, like on the mic, like very, very good on the mic. So that feud is coming, and I wonder what your thoughts on it.
I mean, my problem with MJF isn't that he's not witty enough or whatever. Like he the stuff he's saying it can be clever or whatever, and I get it. It's just more that he's really annoying me, and I just don't dig it in that way. Like he is good at what he's doing, and I know the built-in defense for a heel is like, oh, but you're not supposed to like him, and I guess he's working from that point of view. But like I just wouldn't watch him because I just find him a bit irritating, rather than like, oh, I hate this guy, and just like, all right, please stop talking. I don't know, like that, because that's his character. I don't know if it can be fixed unless he totally reinvents himself, which I don't think people want. I think I'm in the minority with that.
Yeah, it is what it is. And then Punk, as he leaves, takes off his Jordans, €1,000 Jordans, and give them to a fan dressed as Orange Cassidy. That was cool. But this is the I don't know what you think of this, Kieran, but the memes gone around the last couple of weeks about Arn Anderson and his Glock and this Cody Rhodes storyline. What did you think of that promo a couple of weeks ago about I would take out my Glock and spill his brains out?
Bit much. I don't know. It's a bit like hardcore. Wouldn't be for me. Bit serious, but I don't know. Cody Rhodes fucking feud seem weird anyway. I really don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, what do you think of all the Malachi Black stuff with him?
I was very surprised that Malachi Black beat him again.
I'm very happy
Cody was going to win. Yeah, I am as well, because he definitely gave Triple H vibes for a while, but I don't think Triple H would have taken that loss.
I think Cody Rhodes with that Homelander stuff, I think he's doing, and he keeps saying,
it wasn't supposed to be Homelander though. He had like an interview and he was like, "Yeah, I wasn't dressed as Homelander. That was just."
I know, but
that's so ironic. I love that.
No, but I think that's the story. I think he doesn't know he's being a heel when he is, because he was saying, "I'll never turn heel again." I think that's the story. Because it's all this kind
I really don't. Just because, like, if that was the story, he would have beaten Malachi Black. You know?
No, but he doesn't because this week obviously Aaron Anderson was in his back garden burning his suit,
Mm.
burning something in a barrel, and Cody Rhodes came down and they threw the stuff and then Aaron slapped him in the face. I think this is the kind of thing where like he doesn't know he's turned to because that's just first off Malachi Black's work is great and we'll talk about him in a bit. But I think just I don't know what's going on with Cody. I think he there's a lot of people saying that I'd love to get you taking this kind. I think he's out. He's AEW has moved past Cody Rhodes in ring and as a character.
But that could just be because he hasn't been used the best for a while.
It's so tough because I really want to like him.
Mm.
But New York booed the fuck out of him. Like before that, we had all like the crowds like really cheering for him, even though we didn't really
He
like
was
what he was
so
doing.
hot for a while. When was he? When was like the match where he was like massive?
Brody Lee, man.
Yeah, maybe he's the Brody Lee stuff.
By the way, the Brody Lee, we'll get onto it, but the Brody Lee tribute show that was beautiful.
Yeah,
The
but
Dark
he
Order
was like,
reunited.
yeah, but he was like the hottest babyface for a while.
I think that's just because of America. I think the
I don't
American
know.
neck.
I think if this does become a he didn't realize he was evil type thing, I don't think it started as that. I think then fans copped to it. Fans like said, oh, maybe this is what he's doing, and then they've gone like, okay, we'll do that. I don't think this has been intentional from the beginning. If it does turn into that,
Yeah, obviously all the roads from the top stuff isn't going to help.
Mm.
It's going to help him, but it's just not going to help the kind of he's a lovable babyface. He's doing it for us because he has now a reality TV show.
You any watched any of that? I haven't bothered.
I haven't.
Weird that he's gotten one.
I
He's not big enough
genuinely
yet.
if I had time to watch Cody Rhodes, we would have recorded at least 4 podcasts. Let's just put it that way. If I had enough time to watch Rhodes to the Top, which I have not, but yeah, he made a reference to Stardust. Anderson said he may as well just paint a star on his face. Lol. But no, I'm very. Where do you think this is going? What do you think Cody Rhodes' next pay-per-view match is going to be? Because I'm kind of so confused. That's the only thing on the show where I don't know what direction it's going, or I don't have some sort of an idea of where it's going. Cody seems very lost in the shuffle.
He kind of just bounces from person to person, doesn't he? That's been his like MO for a while now. I think the only way he would have direction is if he has a title, and I that's probably unlikely because Sammy Guevara just won the fucking TNT Championship or whatever. So I would have said he'll go for that. I think he had that before as well, but
yeah, he did.
I don't know. He's someone who, like John Moxley's someone who can come out and he'll have a match with anyone and a program with anyone, and it's great, and you don't care. But Cody Rhodes, I feel like you really have to think about it and decide before you can just do it. And he's not that type of person where you can just have him come out and fight anyone and have a program with anyone.
Yeah, and the only way I can see it going is him trying to get his AEW title shot back by like feuding with MJF or something. But I just don't see that happening right now.
Didn't they recommit a couple weeks ago to being like that's not it? He's never getting the championship back.
Yeah, or something along those lines. Yeah, but anyway, listen, it'd be although we don't know, it's still an interest. It's going to be interesting to see where Cody goes.
Hopefully it will be. It's weird that he had a lot of time off there. Not a lot, but he had his time off, and they still seem to have nothing for him.
Yeah,
and I think he's less creatively involved now. Is that right?
Yeah, I think Tony Khan's taking the full reins where the book stops to him, which is a good idea because if you have 5 people trying to book creative and to book different things, but like the Young Bucks reportedly booked the Lucha Bros feud. Like Tony will give over the reins to like the Lucha Bros and that cage match, which we haven't talked about in here. Amazing, another contender for match of the year. But that feud was booked by the Young Bucks. But I like that Tony Khan has taken AEW by the balls because he's really good. Like, let's give Tony credit, and where it's due. The man has done a lot of good stuff. It's crazy. Someone described him as like, you have like a wrestling simulation on your laptop, but this guy has that, but with a lot of money.
Yeah.
He does, and it's great to see. It's really cool to see. But anyway, we move on to the TNT title match between Sammy Guevara and Bobby Fish debut. Kieran, let's just start off by saying, Miro, what a title reign. Miro was fantastic. I love everything about Miro. I think he could go for the main belt anytime. Any feud I'd be interested in. Him and Lana being like horny on main on Twitter is hilarious as well. Like him going, "Your nuts have been redeemed" when he beat Eddie Kingston, and Lana quote would have been like, "Your nuts will be redeemed when we get home." It's just funny. But I just think Miro did so much good, and that match against Sammy was fantastic. Didn't expect Sammy to win, but his first TNT defense was against former Undisputed Era member, back in the same company as Adam Cole, and now signed. He's a QAnon, but like let's forget about that. Bobby Fish. Very very good match. Bobby Fish came out to the Red Dragon music, which is him and Kyle O'Reilly's music as a tag team when they were in New Japan. But a really good 9 minute 17 match, Kieran. It's one of them matches where it's short, it's got a lot of action, and I really really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a solid follow up, a good first match after winning the title for Guevara.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Guevara? He's a natural heel. I think the babyface stuff will work for a while. He bought his friend Fuego car. I really do like his vlog. I like him as all of his stuff that he does is very very good. But there is that kind of question: is he a natural heel? He's a really good in the ring. His moveset is very babyface.
I mean, I think even is the gimmick like him being a vlogger or a YouTuber type thing?
No, the gimmick on screen isn't that. He does that off screen, but it's just a Spanish god on screen, basically.
I think that would really suit a heel, though, that type of gimmick.
Yeah, coming out. Yeah, but I don't think everyone knows that that's going on, you know what I mean? Like, if he just introduced the camera, that'd be okay, but everyone knows he does a vlog, and everyone loves it, so I don't think that would work as a heel.
I just when I hear that, I just think of Logan Paul, and I think you could play that in a hateable way, even if I know people like Logan Paul now.
Yeah, no, that's there's a lot to be said for that, yeah. But no, yeah, I really enjoyed this match. I wonder where the TNT title feud is going. Bobby Fish is signed. That'll have a lot of interest. Sorry, I do know where it's going. I completely forgot. But one of my favorite segments. Kieran, after the match, American Top Team came out and beat Sammy down. So all the UFC fighters and stuff, and then Chris Jericho and Jake Hager came out. Jericho, the most hilarious thing on the show was Jericho knocking down former UFC heavyweight champion Junior Dos Santos. Just one punch and knocked him down. Like, come on, Chris, like fuck off. But yeah, Dan Lambert says cut the music, but the fans did Judas. I love that. Dan Lambert is really, really good. If you look at his stuff in Impact, Lambert talks about how Jericho has been around for a long time, but this isn't his time. AEW is heading to Miami on the 15th of October, the home of American Top Team, and Jorge Masvidal, obviously UFC welterweight and guy who has a flying knee that will knock people out. So how about a 6-man tag with the Men of the Year and Junior Dos Santos versus the Inner Circle? Jericho gets on the mic and says, "I didn't hear a thing you said," and then his mic cuts out and he throws it on the ground, and as it hits the ground, it cuts back in, and then he gets another mic and says, Jericho's promos are just old man screaming at clouds. He just promises the living shit out of Lambert and his team. Lambert can't be heard. Like, he genuinely couldn't be heard in the arena. What did you think of this all, Kieran? I really enjoy it. I think Lambert's promos have gotten a lot better, even though they were already very good, but they got away from like being like you people. They're just more focused on anger towards Chris Jericho. And if this builds to like one of the Men of the Year being Sammy Guevara's next opponent, then that's fine. This is the kind of stuff I want to see Jericho in. Not knocking down UFC heavyweights, but just like the celebrity stuff. But I'm interested to see what you think of this.
I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. I don't particularly like it. I don't mind Jericho in it. I think he's all right. I still feel that Dan Lambert's kind of faction is a bit personalityless right now.
Oh, no, they are. They're all like big. They're all UFC and bare knuckle fight. Like Paige Van Zant's there. She's a former UFC champion. And all the UFC heavyweights and stuff. Yeah.
I think the idea is pair him with Jericho. He'll help with their character work, but I don't think it'll really work like that, especially if you have just kind of Lambert being the face of it. I think if it's a short-term program, go for it. But if this goes on beyond Full Gear, I'd be a bit on it, you know.
I think it's a short term, and I understand why you don't like it, because if you're interested in the UFC and you're interested in like the combat, you will enjoy this.
Yeah, but you understand why. I don't know anything about that stuff. And to be clear, it isn't that I don't like it. I'm just fairly passive towards it right now.
Yeah. I don't like Jericho on commentary on Rampage, but the screaming promos here are fine. It was quite good. The Acclaim raps about their tag team title shot on Rampage against the Lucha Bros, which was a really, really good match. Tony Schiavone's in the ring. The Dynamite is moving to TBS on January 5th, and there's something special. The new TBS title has been announced. And it'll be starting as a tournament to crown the women's first the first TBS women's champion. And the NWA women's title was there, so this is slotting back in because the women's title is gone back to NWA. So yeah, we've had 2 titles on it before, and I'm okay with it. Jim Ross sits down with Darby Allin, who talks about MJF got to him last week. Yes, he was there when his uncle drunk drove and got killed, and that's why he paints half his face. Allin faced that night, but he lived to talk about it, and MJF isn't going to break him. Darby Allin beats Nick Comoroto in an impromptu match, and then QT Marshall comes to the ring, hits Sting with a cutter. Sting no-sells it, pops up for the Scorpion Death Drop, kicks QT Marshall in the dick, and then hits the Death Drop. Any thoughts on that, Kieran?
Not really.
No.
Pretty good. It was good.
Yeah.
It was solid.
It was a breather. It was a breather from a very hot opening to the show. The Dark Order's back together. Yay! With Evil Uno.
You love the Dark Order.
I just think this narrative has been amazing, and as they get back together, Hangman Page comes back. So hopefully on Saturday, because Saturday Night Dynamite this week, which is great. Saturday 1 a.m. Let's go. So hopefully they kind of make up with Hangman Page, and we kind of see this kind of the build to full gears. The build to full gears starts on Saturday. So the Dark Order is back together with Evil Uno saying the team can make the decisions. They agree to start voting as a family, with the first vote being where Arlen Angels has to wear his mask again. I just love John Silver, where he's just like, "You're ugly." It's like you look like me. But Anna Jay breaks up another fight, and they're good again. And this is one of my favorite segments of the week here, and the Dante Martin stuff. What did you think of the Dante Martin, Aleister Black stuff? Sorry, Aleister. Malachi Black. Oh, who's that? But the Dante Martin has been on fire lately. With the interaction with Kenny Omega, him jumping so high, he jumped out of the shot in a match last week.
Which is cool. Yeah,
I think this was a really cool way of setting up a mini feud. I really, really enjoyed this game.
Yeah, no, it was solid. And like I'm saying earlier, I like all these mini feuds. I think they add a lot. They're really cool.
Yeah, especially when you have 4 pay-per-views a year. Especially when you have 4 pay-per-views a year.
Definitely, yeah. As opposed to the WWE method of, you can watch the first week every month and you'll know exactly what the card is for the next pay-per-view.
Yeah. So Dante Martin. Yeah. So Dante Martin said he can hang with anyone and now is willing to fight anyone who gets in the ring with him. The lights go out and Malachi Black is there. And sprays Black Mist and hits Black Mass. The lights go out again with Martin on the floor, and Black says the House of Black accepts and then leaves. Very much enjoyed it. Really, really good. And it'll be a very, very good match. And Dante Martin can sell that Black Mass like a fucking champ. Here's Ricky Starks to talk about the FTW title was defended right here in this very city. ECW Philadelphia. Very, very good. He's more of a champion than the previous champion, Brian Cage, wasn't here. And then Starks challenged him to a Philly street fight, and then Cage came out and started the brawl. And Team Taz pulled Starks to safety. They had that match on Dynamite on Rampage. Very, very good Philly street fight. Ricky Starks is still your team, your champion. Kieran, I really, really like Ricky Starks, and I've said it from the start. I just think, and there's a lot of buzz about him. I just think he's very, very good. On the mic. I think he has a really, really cool kind of aura about him. And also, what do you think about the internet's obsession with Hook?
With Hook, the movie Hook. Have you ever seen Hook?
He is a very, very jacked man. For people keep forgetting just because he's a son of Taz doesn't mean he's young. But I think with a little bit, obviously he's training and he is going to have a match soon, next year. I think he has all the makings of being a really, really, because I've seen a couple of moves and I think he just has a really good aura about him. But Ricky Starks is very good. And then thoughts on Hook and just Team Taz in general. What do you think of that kind of stable?
I've never seen the movie Hook.
Me neither.
Yeah, isn't that weird? People love that movie. I think it's Steven Spielberg, but it didn't do very well. I was listening to the Anti-Tunnel podcast where they kept talking about Hook last night. So isn't that a coincidence? Yeah, no, it's all doing fine. Team Taz is all right. Their stuff with Punk was pretty good. Or it is good. I don't think it's over yet, is it? No.
Mm, mm, mm. I'm drinking water. I'm trying to drink water as I'm trying to portray even through a mouthful of water. Uh, it seems like they can go back to it. AEW can do that where like they
Mm,
can do a few and then go away for a bit, and then like I want to see Ricky Starks and Punk, but like maybe they might do that for the pay per view. Maybe they'll like because they had to tie up the loose ends with the Brian Cage storyline as well.
yeah.
So yeah, who knows? But like the fact that we're like it's not like a case of in a WWE case is like who's left to challenge with AEW. It's
Roman
like who
Reigns specifically, yeah, is the
with
big
a
question.
with AEW they're going with like it's like which storyline they're going to go with because they have a couple of different avenues here.
Yeah. And how will they all connect in the end?
Exactly.
Um,
But yeah, no, Team Taz, I do enjoy them for what like they are. I'm interested to see when like they kind of obviously Cage is left, but it'd be interesting to see where Team Taz are in like a year.
yeah.
Because that's quite interesting. Hikaru Shida was trying to get her 50 wins. They had the trophy there, and they had a really really good match here. Now we're talking about women's wrestling AW. This I want to see more of this. This was a very very good match.
Yeah, no, it was. Was this for the TBS Championship? Yeah.
No, because the TBS Championship is
Oh,
on January 5th. They're doing a tournament to crown that champion, ending
oh,
on. So yeah,
yes, right.
But
Yeah,
this was for Hikaru Shida's 50 wins.
50 wins. Oh my
So
god.
yeah, she was gonna get a little trophy for winning 50 matches and Deeb. So basically, this is Deeb's way of turning heel. She's fantastic. We need more Serena Deeb on the main on the main roster. Jeez, on the AW roster, she's just very very good. She had a few injuries, but man, both of these. Let's talk about. Sheila was in the same boat as Moxley, carrying them through the pandemic. She deserves a lot more credit than she gets. And I think this was like a really, really good advertisement for the women's division straight after announcing the TBS title.
Yeah, there you go.
Um,
She's pretty good. Bleacher Report says that Dean Malenko named her the woman of 1,000 holes, which is cool.
yeah, because Malenko had the see Tony Khan brought out Dean Malenko and Dean Malenko, Jerry Lynn, and Jericho after the show, and then Punk was there being like they were celebrating like ECW in Philadelphia, and then like
Yeah.
they were just like, and Punk got in the ring and was like, I was the ECW champion in 2010. Yeah, he was like
Ha.
the new Punk is hilarious. Punk just got back in the ring. He's like, do you mind if I join you? I was once ECW champion. And like, yeah, Malenko is obviously struggling with Parkinson's and it's a serious illness, but he was really, really happy to be out there. And Jerry Lynn was hyped as fuck as well. But yeah, MJF challenged Darby Allin to a match on Dynamite after that. Allen accepts and then looks at the limo, thinking MJF inside, and then a masked man, a lot of masked men jump him, who are quite clearly the Pinnacle. And whoever, I think it was JR, was like, "Who's that?" And Excalibur was like, "It's the fucking Pinnacle, you idiot." It's like who else is that thick? It's Wardlow, and then he did the F10. The man Wardlow is a huge hunk of a man, and
He is.
very and
I think he
as a
is.
wrestler, I really, really enjoy him as well. I really, really, really do like Wardlow. I think there's a lot of potential for Wardlow. And they've been teasing him and MJF being not on the same page for a while. But another masked man, clearly MJF, gets out of the limo to choke Allen with the skateboard. When he started skating with the skateboard, I thought he was going to fall over. I love commentary towards MJF. I know you don't like him, but the way the commentary, they're just like, yeah, he's a dick. But yeah, no, that's that. So that's MJF and Darby Allin set up another little mini feud. I think maybe they can drag it out. I'm not sure which way they're going with it, but yeah, no, it's good. Now, Kieran, what do you think about Mr. Leo Rush, the Money Man? He's doing this money gimmick, which is strange. He talks about how much he likes Dante Martin, but he's also a businessman. Rush thinks Martin needs to rush towards Malachi Black's challenge, and then they can talk afterwards. And then he gets Matt Sydal a match with CM Punk next week on Rampage because Sydal was Dante Martin's tag partner. But now, what do you think of Leo Rush being back? I thought he was retired, but then now he's back. I do like him I think he can talk. I think he'll elevate whoever he's talking for. But yeah, the money gimmick is weird considering Matt Hardy already does one.
Yeah, he's back from his second retirement, right? I think.
Yeah, I think he was in. I think he was injured, and there was kind of unsure. I'm not gonna try and assume or criticize someone for retiring and then coming back. It's their own life choices.
Yeah, yeah, it's up to him. I don't really mind because he's all right. I feel like we still haven't seen the best of what he can do yet. So if he has another opportunity to go for it, then yeah, sure. Because he
Yeah,
was
that's
really
true.
good with Bobby Lashley, and that's where I'm most familiar with him. I know he went to New Japan for a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch like any of that, but with Lashley he was good. So I'm 100% willing to give him another shot, and he was solid here as well. So
He introduced us to the ass of Lashley. You remember that
yes,
segment?
yeah,
Lashley, Lashley. And then Finn Balor beat them in a 2-on-1 handicap match at a pay per view. It addresses the demon, I think. Um,
dressed as the demon. I like calling it. Yeah, he was dressed up as the demon. Um,
painted as the demon. But now
yeah.
Britt Baker likes the idea of the TBS title, but said she was hoping for the Cartoon Network title. I
Oh.
don't know if I don't know if she said that, but like it just has it in brackets. I think maybe someone was making a joke. I forgot the promo, but she said some of these bitches might leave her alone. Then go of your tournament, and she'll be sitting on top. Fair enough. Jamie Hayter's there with her as well, and Rebel, not Reba, or Reba, not Rebel. Um, but anyway, the casino ladder match, man, what a match this was. What are your
Yes.
thoughts, Ken? What are your thoughts up until the Joker? I thought it was just everyone had a little mini feud here. Did you notice that? We had Pac and Andrade, we had Cassidy and Hardy, and we had Moxley and Larcher, and it just worked really, really, really well.
Yeah, no, it worked fucking fantastic. And it was a solid group of people for a ladder match as well. It was a good mix of different styles. And people who would be more used to ladder matches, I assume, like Pac, and people who might not be, like Moxley or Cassidy. Um,
And Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy is
yeah, well,
quite.
he's never done a ladder match, right?
No. He's never jumped up a ladder.
Yeah.
No, not
Um,
a fan. I just think Pac is one of the most. I think Pac is one of the most underrated wrestlers in the world, even though he's so rated. I think the man
I
is.
think he's underrated. You could make that argument because he's fucking constantly in England and can't get to get to wrestle. Like,
Well, now,
um,
now, now, let's hope he's here for this pay per view because that man is so
yeah.
good, so good. Andrade, I like seeing Andrade showing his stuff. I don't think he's. I just don't think he is he's interested enough to fulfill his potential.
What do you like? The
I just don't.
character or just the actual person of Andrade?
I, I know he's announced that he's bringing 2 masked wrestlers to fight the Lucha Bros, and that storyline's still going on. I just think there's, when you watch an Andrade match there, and you're like, you're good, but you can give 20% more.
Sure, yeah. I don't know. I think we said before, I've never been crazy about him. I didn't really rate his match with Gargano ages ago, which was a big deal when that happened. I don't know. He's all right. He's fine. He hasn't done too much in AEW since debuting, though that is partially because he had to get his match with Pac delayed a bit. So
Yeah.
it's not. I don't want to be unfair to him.
But anyway, we had you can tell even though there's been I think it's a testament to Pac that there's been so many delays and Tony Khan still really stands by him.
Yeah. Do
Which
you
is
think
great.
there will be a point where it's just like, okay, move on from him, or
No, I don't think so. I think that
okay?
man I think we need to put the AW title around that man's waist. Um
Ooh.
but anyway, I think we could revisit Pac and Hangman for that first feud. Yes, please.
Ooh.
Orange Cassidy and Pac at the start of the match were really good. Harking back to their pay per view, I think those two just blend quite well. Pac plans some with a brainbuster. Andrade comes in and stuff happens. Matt Hardy comes in, side effects Cassidy. Break comes. Lance Archer comes out, and Lance Archer is just great. I love the way Jake the Snake Roberts doesn't come out with him a lot anymore, but when he does, he's just carrying some jobber. And he just just batters people. Then John Moxley comes in at 6. This guy, my guy, John Moxley, so good. He just I've never seen a man just get full on punched in the face and love it. Like the man takes so much punishment and just the man's back against Nick Gage was like blood was like just pouring down his back.
And he's having the best time.
He's having the best time. I mean, whatever you're into. No king shaming, Mox.
Jeez.
Well, like I wouldn't be into that. And Renee's podcast is really fucking good right now as well. She's getting some really good guests on. But
Is she
yeah,
a free agent yet? Do you think she'll jump to AEW?
I think so. She loves wrestling, and like she really does, like want to get back into the industry. So I wouldn't complain. Like she'd be great as, but I don't think she'd do backstage now. I think she'd be great as kind of like their podcast host or something. Or
Would they put her on commentary maybe? Because I feel like she
Yeah,
probably want to do that, considering she was WWE's first main roster full-time women's commentator.
yeah.
I
Get
can't
her in
remember
there
if Beth
for
Phoenix was first.
get her in there for Moxley.
Yeah.
No, not Moxley. Sorry, I'm tired. Get her in there for Jericho. Because Jericho on commentary is terrible. Not very good. But anyway, Kieran, who was the Joker? I wonder who it was. I forget.
Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko. But no, this is so good. The roof fucking blew off the place when
Because
Hangman
everyone,
appeared.
it was similar to Punk-ish, where everyone kind of knew it was coming, but it was still great.
And there was kind of like red herrings being thrown in that maybe isn't him,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. Maybe it was like Buddy Matthews, who's having a match with Alistair Malachi Black on the Indies next week. But yeah, no, the roof just blew off the place. And did you see on his graphic card it was finally showed up to work?
I didn't
Was
notice
on
that.
his
That's
thing.
good.
Yeah, it was really good. And then Paige and Moxley, and it erupted. And this is what I want to talk about. You know, we're talking about how good Moxley is and how everyone loves him.
Yes.
Moxley got booed here.
Whoa, that's how
Moxley,
you know. That's how you know.
Paige was hitting him, and Moxley was like, and then Moxley hit him in his boot. He got booed. And then the sequence of moves to end this ladder match, Kieran. The headbutt drops Andrade off the top onto a ladder at ringside. Paige and Pac up to the top. The dead eye off the ladder, Kieran. Oh my God, that was a move. It was terrifying. What did you think of that as a move? I thought Hangman's knees were gone. I was hoping Pac didn't die, but it was just so good.
It was big, impactful, good pop.
Yeah, and then we take it home with Moxley hitting Paige with a paradigm shift, and Cassidy just runs up to the top of the ladder, and then Hardy shoves over the ladder, leg drops Cassidy through a table. Archer cleans house again, and then Paige out of nowhere with the buckshot lariat just absolutely erupted the place again. And then Moxley shares Paige in the back, but then they go up to the ladder. Paige knocks him down, and then the suspense of Paige trying to get the poker chip off, and we end the show with Paige with the poker chip. He's gonna go. He's on the road to meet Kenny Omega. The beers were being drunk by Paige at the top of the ladder. Kieran, this was so good.
Yeah, you've been talking about it for ages. I was thinking like Rene's going to be so disappointed when Kenny Omega loses at Full Gear to some fucking jobber or some shit. But no, it actually happened, and he presumably will win that title. I think 2 years since he lost against Jericho at Full Gear.
Full Gear last year. Him and Omega fought. Do you remember that when Omega turned on him? And it was just over 2. And he lost.
So Full Gear is not a good show for fucking Hangman Page.
No, but it's the kind of it's the story arc of it all,
Yeah.
and the fact that when he lost against Jericho All Out in 2019, 2.5 years ago, it was he was being old Roman Reigns. I have to say old Roman Reigns now because the new Roman Reigns is dwindling a bit, but it's still really good.
Apparently he's the highest merch seller heel all time in WWE.
That's mad, but
That's insane.
I think this just we'll get on to Roman in a bit. We're gonna go on to WWE and NXT.
We've been going for an hour as well. We'll have to.
I know. Yeah, we're gonna have to speed through. But listen, Hangman Page, the road to All Out was beginning. Let's go. We love to see it. But yeah, no, we're gonna talk about. We had a really good discussion about AEW, and we're gonna have more because Kieran's into it now. And
one more thing about AEW, I just think it's interesting that Rampage's viewership has fallen for the 7th week in a row. It's hit 500,000 viewers, which I think is the lowest ever AEW show.
Unfortunately, you're on at 10 p.m. on a Friday night, and that's the problem. That's a slot. I'd love to see them go earlier. I'd love Minoru Suzuki and Bryan Danielson being announced for the pre-show because they're on up against SmackDown. But yeah, it's just a problem. It's a slot that you have on a Friday night. It's a really awkward slot. It just is, even for America, like 10 p.m. It's not prime time, and yeah, I think that's the reason mainly. It's still a really good product, like a really, really good product, and I love an hour wrestling show. But let's hope they can get a better slot, or they can just keep moving up. But Dynamite is doing well. Dynamite's been over 1 million for a couple of months, so we're doing well.
Which is great. That looked so unattainable for so long.
They're winning in the demos as well. But anyway, Kieran, your quick thoughts on NXT. We'll give both of our quick thoughts on NXT 2.0. Carmelo Hayes won the NXT North American title last night in short news. Champ is the champion. Braun Breaker. Why didn't you call him Steiner? But yeah, Kieran, what are your thoughts on NXT 2.0? The
Uh,
set, the change, the people, and the kind of the only thing that I've enjoyed was the Dexter and Indy wedding. That was
yeah,
hilarious. But other than that, I'm really really confused, and I feel like Kyle O'Reilly, Champa, and Gargano's time are very borrowed in that show.
yeah. I don't think any of it's awful per se. I just don't think it's NXT. It looks like a different show. It feels like a different show.
Vince McMahon.
Um, yeah. Basically, it doesn't look like it's Triple H's baby anymore, which is a pity. It's not the end of the world because main NXT, I guess, had been dwindling, and maybe it's for the best that they've kind of ended that. They're very much separating everything, so it has a little bookmark. And having Samoa Joe, especially, be that final champion is nice, maybe. But I don't know. It's I haven't watched like a full episode, so I guess I can't
No,
remark fully on it. But I
it
don't know, not
was
the best.
it was so weird to see Samoa Joe relinquish the title. Like, just it was a really scary, like, due to injury. It wasn't due to injury, I don't think. Right before this new NXT started, it was a really kind of it was a red flag, if you want to call it that. And
Hmm.
I just haven't been able to get into it. Like, Braun Breaker, as good as you can tell me this guy is, and how like he's gonna the new NXT star. You have that guy Gunnar Harland, who used to look like Parker. You know your man Parker Boudreaux.
Yeah.
He used to look like Lesnar. He's now bald, and now his name's Gunnar Harland. Um, yeah, it's strange. It's really is strange. But yeah, let's move on to the good part of WWE. I don't know if I'm gonna saying that properly, but saying that in good faith. But the WWE draft happened, and we are
Do
building
you want to talk
toward
about
the.
Extreme Rules first?
Yeah, actually, because we haven't spoken, we're going to talk. Kieran's going to give his thoughts on his boy Finn Balor and the Demon, and that main event. I don't remember a lot from Extreme Rules. I just remember it being a really bland pay per view that had that bit, a really cool build to the Finn and Roman. I really did like it from what I watched on YouTube, but the ending to this match was very very weird.
Right. So I'm sitting there. Yeah, I watched all of Extreme Rules. It was a pretty good show on the whole. I didn't mind it. I thought the Becky Bianca match was pretty cool. Sasha coming back was pretty cool. I can't really remember anything else that happened on the show, which isn't the best sign, but I have terrible memory. But it was a solid show. Main event happens. Demon Balor, Roman Reigns, incredible match. Fucking adored it. Was having the best time of my life. Towards the end, it's like it looks like maybe Balor's about to win. Usos come out, they kick him outside the fucking ring. They're beating him up. Everyone gets like he gets like a spear through the barricade and shit. Lights go all red. Finn Balor's music like starts playing, and Finn Balor like demon Finn Balor starts like flopping away on the ground, and I'm losing my mind because I think this is the coolest thing ever. He has like this resurrection, where he gets I guess he gets all his power back. It's the stupidest thing, and they play his full theme or whatever while he gets into the ring and like beats up Roman Reigns and is about to win the title. Gets on the top rope for the coup de grace to win the match, and then the rope breaks. He falls. The music stops. The lights turn normal instantly. Roman goes for the spear and wins, and such an underwhelming way to end what like I was genuinely like losing my mind for because I
Yeah,
loved his like whole resurrection thing. It was so cheesy and campy, but it was so interesting and different, and they haven't really done anything like that well for a while. And then it's ruined, and not. I don't think it's ruined. They didn't ruin it because they didn't know what to do. They ruined it because they don't want to end Roman's title reign, which sucks because I don't think they have a long term plan for this at all. I'm not convinced The Rock is going to come back. And I'm not convinced if he comes back, he's going to win the title and go on a run.
did you
I
hear
don't
the
know.
report? Did you hear the report that they are planning on taking Lesnar and Reigns to Mania?
I heard Royal Rumble. I didn't hear Mania.
I heard Mania. I heard they're gonna have a lot of matches, and it's gonna be going to Mania. That was a report. I think PW Insider reported that. But yeah, I don't know. I like the Lesnar and Reigns storyline with Paul Heyman at the moment. I don't mind it, but we'll give our thoughts now. Would you want to just go to the Crown Jewel card and talk about the kind of
Yeah, and then
stories
we can
around
talk
it?
about Lesnar Reigns when we get to that bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we can talk about like the different storylines that are here. and stuff like that, and talk about
Because my
what.
understanding is that for this one, this crown jewel in particular, they want actual storyline consequences or something. They don't want them to just feel like house shows.
Yeah.
I don't
Now,
know.
Kieran, this is something that WWE is losing to AEW so badly at right now, and that is the booking of their tag teams.
Hmm.
Because in the last couple of weeks, they have split up like 4 tag teams. I can't remember the other 3. I think it might have been in the draft, Tegan and Shotzi. Um, there was another split, and then it ended last night on Monday Night Raw with Mansoor and Mustafa Ali being split up. Just to get, I think this was just to get Mansoor on that Saudi show, but you could have done that in a tag match with put him in the tag title match with the RK Bro stuff. But
I wish they would just book Mansoor, just have him on the shows during the year, because it feels so. I just feel bad for the guy that they only use him for the fucking crown jewels.
oh no, they don't. He was on Raw full. He's on Raw full time now.
Is he?
Kieran.
I haven't noticed him at all. All
Him
right,
and
I take back my comment then. Forget me.
Yeah, him and Mustafa Ali have been doing this storyline where like Mustafa's been helping him, but Mustafa doesn't like that he's getting so like hyper and he gets a few sneaky wins. And then they just broke up on Monday Night Raw, and we're
Huh.
getting Mansoor versus Mustafa Ali at Crown Jewel.
All right, I take back my comment then. Sorry, I don't
Yeah,
watch the shows enough. I guess now.
yeah, but no, I completely agree with you. The booking of there's a booking of it's just so strange. Why would you just stop splitting up your tag teams? Have them mean something. Like insert
Hmm.
FTR around here. But yeah, no. Next up we got Booby Lashley versus Goldberg in a no holds barred match. Goldberg's promo was good this week, but I can't fucking stand anything that he
That
does in the
first
ring.
match sucked. It was
Yeah,
really bad, and it was like a lot of Goldberg matches are like they're okay, and then the ending is bad. But this just sucked.
if he brings his son to the ring, the Hurt Business are back. I like that. I like the fact that they're back together
Yes,
because they were a very
that's a
good team.
positive.
That's a positive. Cedric Alexander's wearing a bandana now because bandanas are in. But the promos were good this week, but I'm so fucking uninvested in this. It's not even funny.
Hmm.
It's just Goldberg. He's gonna keep signing contracts. Now, this is something that I haven't. I don't mind this. A lot of people don't like Seth Rollins, but Edge versus Seth Rollins culminated this last Friday where Edge, after Seth Rollins invaded Edge's home. It's a typical Edge storyline, and it's invading someone's home.
That's
Then
a
he did it.
very 2000s, yeah.
Yeah, and then they did it with like Triple H and Randy Orton and stuff. Edge and Seth Rollins in Hell in a Cell. Don't know why you're calling the Hell in a Cell in
Wasn't
Saudi Arabia.
was
But yeah,
what's going on? Hang on, sorry. Was Edge not rumored to be out for a bit though after his last match?
no,
Maybe that was
it's
just wrong.
no. Edge came out and said, "You and me, Hell in a Cell," and
Yeah.
Rollins did the whole shocked baby face, shocked heel look.
Yeah, I don't know. He can say no to the match. He knows that, right? I don't know why he's so like, he doesn't have to do it. I always thought that was so weird. Anyway, yeah, no, good way to end the feud, but make sure it's over this time because like, it's been going on for a while. I
What do you
think
think
it's
of Edge?
done.
What do you think of both guys individually? Edge and Seth Rollins. Edge, that it's both so weird. Seth needs Seth has learned to shut his mouth on the internet, which is good. But I just don't. It's another thing where like I'd love to be invested in this, but there's just everything with the main roster just seems so disjointed right now. Even the feud this feud has been the only continuous feud, but
Yeah.
it just feels like any continuous feud they have, they just run it dry and run it into the ground.
I think that's what's happened here. Edge has definitely proven that he's back, and he can wrestle. So I don't mind him. I think Rollins, at one stage, you could have very easily made the argument that he was one of, if not the best wrestler in the world. I don't think you can make that argument anymore. Not because he's not good, but because I don't think he's been booked to have the best opponents that would show off how good he is. The last like truly great Rollins match I can remember is like the Brock Lesnar SummerSlam match, and even still, that was more like it was one of those event matches rather than like a good technical match or whatever. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I just think he's bleeding WWE left right. Like his blood runs like he used to be that kind of. You used to still have the elements of the Tyler Blacker, like the indie
Hmm.
Seth Rollins, and that was good. But like he's now very much a company man, and I think it's hurting him. I don't know. I don't know.
Massively so. I think he's a lifer. unless they really fuck him. Which is, look, they've treated him really well. If he wasn't, I'd feel offended if I was like Triple H or Vince, to be fair. But it seems to be to the detriment of what made him so popular in the first place.
Yeah. Talk about shit booking. The Queen's Crown tournament.
Like
I
they've
saw it
been
on
doing
Twitter. Sorry, Kieran. The total time for the
Yeah,
the total time for the matches so far is like 5 minutes.
terrible. That's horrific. It's like the Give Divas a Chance stuff where there's like 2 3 minute matches on like 3 hour shows.
Yeah, and who was in our final again? Remind me. I think it's Shayna Baszler and
That's a semi-final, and it might be
they haven't happened yet.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah, it's
the semi. They just decided the semis of both Kings and Queens.
yeah, it's Zelina Vega or Carmella versus Shayna Baszler or Doudrop. I have a feeling it might be Shayna Baszler versus Carmella. No, Shayna Baszler versus Vega maybe.
I
It's gonna
think
be
no,
it's
because
gonna
Carmella just got her new gimmick, so I'd say they might give her the gimmick. And then again, she's the Queen of Hearts, to be fair, or whatever, Queen of
yeah.
somethings. Yeah,
It's yeah, Shayna Baszler is just the ace of spades. I don't know,
or the
whatever.
Ace. Okay, she's the Ace. Okay, never mind.
But no, oh no, I don't know. I honestly don't know. They're all
Me-
heels here except for Doudrop. Oh wait,
That's weird.
Doudrop's gonna beat Shayna. Fuck. Poor Shayna Baszler.
I don't think so. Because Shayna was coming out strong a couple weeks ago, wasn't she?
Yeah, she broke Eva Marie's arm.
Yeah.
But yeah, strange. I don't know. Very
The
weird
men's
booking.
one looks like it's probably going to be Xavier winning, but
I really hope it is. But I think WWE had a chance, an open goal to give us Xavier Woods versus Kofi Kingston in the semis, and instead they had Jinder Mahal win.
that's a money match. I feel the New Day breaking up is a big deal. That you
No,
don't want
this
to
is
put that on just the Raw.
yeah, I know.
Fair.
But you could have the storyline of Kofi like not wanting to get in the way of his brother's dream and stuff like that.
I think that would undermine it though if Xavier does win. I want
Yeah,
Balor to win. I know everyone wants like Xavier to win, and it's like Xavier's thing. He's been pushing for it for ages, but I'm a fanboy, so
have
sorry.
any of the Sammy and Finn had their semi? Didn't they? Finn won, did he?
No, that hasn't happened yet.
Oh,
I
so that's
think.
on. Oh, that's
Unless
on
it
Friday.
happened like fucking tonight. I can't remember.
No, that's on Friday. But yeah, Sami Zayn being last in the draft pick. I know it's a character choice, but that man's gonna be out of WWE. I think he
I
has to
think it's
do.
because maybe, but yeah, I think it's because he's a free agent, though, right? I think he might stay purely because it's a lot of exposure for his charity stuff, which I think he really cares about.
Yeah, but they're going to. Oh wait, Finn's winning this because Sammy's not going to Saudi. Sorry.
There you go.
But yeah, and it's Xavier. But let's talk about his friend before we move on to the next match. Kevin Owens is done.
Oh
Poor-
fuck yeah, he's gone, which is crazy. He felt like a company man for a bit, or like along those lines of type thing. In the same way, I don't think AJ Styles would be going to AEW. I didn't think Kevin Owens would go.
I smell a Dean Ambrose kind of last couple of months for Kevin. Sadly, he's already getting
It
beaten up
hasn't
by.
been that bad, but I feel bad for him. Yeah,
He's getting beaten up by Baron Corbin every week. It's pretty
Yeah.
low. Next up we have RK Bro versus AJ Styles and Omos. Don't know if you've seen on Twitter, but Matt Riddle's wife isn't happy with him.
Why not? No.
That was a deleted. She put a deleted tweet where it was like, you moved to Orlando and left your kids and me.
Woo.
But yeah, shit like that. Yeah, but no, I just can't get invested in any tag team title match ever in WWE ever again. It means nothing to me. It's the same match they had at Mania. Again, going on too long because they have no fucking tag teams. Kieran.
Now let's do the Usos versus the New Day again.
Yeah, for another couple of months. Speaking of repetitive, Big E versus Drew McIntyre. Now listen, Big E. Let's just give
That's
that man.
not repetitive, is it? Have they done
No,
that
but
before?
nobody's in Drew McIntyre challenging for the title. But you know,
right.
it is true. It is true. But listen, Big E did the intros for Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. My guy, Big E, winning the title and then going mainstream. I love it. Everyone loves Big E. There's nobody. So good to see. And I do like Drew, and I will enjoy this match. But just Drew being in the title picture again, it's gonna yeah.
It's Drew McIntyre. They made him a big deal. They built him as a star, so I don't really mind.
Yeah, and it's gonna be a good match. So I'm sorry, maybe I'm just I'm just worried for Drew in terms of just the go away heat soon, even though he had a bit there for a while.
Yeah, but then just turn him heel. I don't think he's a Roman Reigns where they're not going to want to for ages, and I think he'd probably be a decent heel, especially with the sword.
Yeah. Now, next up, the Saudis are quaking in their boots because there's not one, not two, but three women in this match. It's Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair versus
To
Sasha
be
Banks.
very clear, by the way, when Ray means the Saudis, he means the people in charge who like are
Yeah.
against women's rights or
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
We're
And
not talking about the average person or
no,
whatever.
no.
Yeah.
But Kieran, what do you think they're gonna do the whole wrestling T-shirts thing again? Or
I imagine so, probably. I know a few years ago, I don't know if it was in Saudi Arabia, but it was some country that's a little less lenient on like women exposing themselves. They wore like it was Alexa and Sasha. They wore like the bodysuits. I can't remember if they did that last time.
that was
Um,
no, it was do you remember Carmella and no, sorry, it was Natalia and Naomi had a match and they were in like T-shirts and Natalia got a bottle thrown at her.
yeah,
Or it was Natalia and Bailey.
I presume
Um,
it'll be t-shirts again, but I don't know.
but yeah,
That whole situation feels, I don't know. It's not. I don't like. I don't know.
it's happening in football now because Newcastle Football Club got taken over by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Like the High King of Saudi Arabia owns Newcastle Football Club now, and it's just a very, very weird situation. I'm going to be
The
writing an
Saudi
article
show,
on it soon.
they're very uncomfortable shows to watch purely because of all the women's rights issues and stuff
Yeah,
around them, and the
yeah,
propaganda pieces they play, where it's like, "Hey, look, we let women drive now," and it's like, "Great, good work." It's only fucking
yeah.
like in
Pay
the
on the back.
2010s, and you've allowed it to
Yeah,
happen. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah. While we're on the women's division, Kieran, what do you think of the Dana Brooke and Corey Graves situation? Did you see that with the commentary thing where it was Graves got very being like why like very, very heelish,
Yeah,
very what did
I
you
don't
think of the whole
know.
situation?
I don't know. Look, I guess there's a line there, that a commentator has to, or anyone, to be fair, who's playing a heel, of like doing a heel comment and just saying something that might actually hurt the person's feelings. I feel like Dana Book was probably just having a really bad day, heard that comment, and it didn't help, and it's just one of those things. And I assume, did Corey Graves make an apology on Twitter? If not, I assume he did privately.
I don't know. I think it was the whole case of Dana Brooke was like, "Don't let anyone get you down," Flex Friday stuff like that, and then because she just like all the motivational posts on Instagram,
Yeah,
that's her kind of thing. But I think Corey was just it was weird. It was like it's
he
strange.
essentially said that she's done nothing of note in the company at all.
Yeah, I wonder what that mean for like whatever friendship Dana Brooke and Carmella have because obviously Carmella is. I think Corey Graves has a very big mouth.
Yeah,
He does seem to say what he wants because he has a podcast in WWE now as well. His ego has definitely grown. Um, it's a strange one. It really is a strange one, and it's like I wouldn't even if it was in character. I don't think I could. I don't think I'd have the kind of the I think my moral compass would stop me from saying something like that. Even though I know it's like kind of you're trying to like lean into a character. I understand it might be like, oh, Dana Brooke is going to get motivated, but we all know that's not going to go anywhere for Dana because Vince that's just the way Vince keeps the same women at the top of the card. So why put that comment in when you'll have her like win a couple of matches and then have her lose again?
he's commenting on her out of ring ability, like out of the show ability to get like to do something noteworthy or whatever, rather than her character or whatever, which is what he should do, and he should be criticizing her, like
Yeah, 100%.
being like, I don't like this person. The motivation stuff is stupid. Get over it, type stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it was him just trying to like not use the W buzzwords like momentum and stuff like that and just trying to be like trying to be different. But yeah, anyway, we move on, but let's hope that is the last of those comments and they don't double down on it because we've seen in the past when something gets traction, Vince doubles down on it. So yeah. Now, the main event, Kieran, I just want to get your thoughts on this entire thing in general from the beginning to the end because we haven't really spoken about it a lot. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title. This is going to be the first of many. Brock Lesnar is a babyface. Paul Heyman is stuck in the middle. Stuck in the middle
With you.
Yep.
Love that song.
But yeah, what have you thought of this holding so far, and where do you see it going? Because I'm very confused. I'd like I this is the thing on the way that I'm most trying to like because I do like the kind of who is he with, who's like who's he siding with, and like Roman Reigns is getting angry, the Usos are getting angry. I do like this, but I'm very, very confused as to what the path is.
The only Roman Reigns feud I haven't liked since he came back as a heel, I think, was the Rey Mysterio one.
Yeah,
Everything else, including this one, I've always been invested in. And I do think it's probably been the most consistently very, very, very good thing in wrestling for a long time now. Um, I think they are rapidly they just have actually. They've run out of opponents for the guy. Um, maybe Edge have they did Edge, didn't they?
yeah,
Did
right.
they? Yep.
Mania with
Fuck.
that with Brian Danielson.
Yeah, they've clearly run out of opponents, and I guess if they're going to be using Brock Lesnar, I don't think Mania. Maybe okay, he'll either face Brock again at the Rumble or Mania. Hopefully not both. That would be a disaster. But it really does feel like, and I'm looking forward to this match, and I like this feud, and I like them as opponents. But it really does feel like the entire WWE universe is just revolving around that one match happening over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's stuck. It's been handcuffed by it.
And if what you're saying is true, then I imagine they've just found out that The Rock is busy on April, whatever it is, for WrestleMania.
Let me look this up. Brock Lesnar, Roman. I just want to make sure I was right and I wasn't just fucking
I
tired.
thought they were going to do Drew as his next big program, but they're on different brands, I think. Survivor Series will be next. That'll be
and that's
what's
the way
his
you
face?
kind of that's the way you kind of
Big
split
E.
them up. They'll have a run in each match. Yeah, okay. I think. Oh no, sorry, that's not the one. I'm convinced I saw there was a report by someone. I'm just trying to Mania 30. Is it 38? Is it or 37? 37. No. Mania 37.
38 is next year's one. 37
Yeah.
was this year's one. Yeah. I don't know. I really, really don't know where this Roman thing's
Status
going.
of Brock. Status
And
of Brock Lesnar reveal.
Go on.
Oh, that's 9th. Oh, that's 9th of April.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we'll talk about it in the coming weeks. We don't have time right now, but yeah. I don't know.
I feel like they maybe they've gotten to a stage where they're hoping that they will strike a Kofi Kingston or Daniel Bryan Yes Movement moment where they have this great babyface who can take the title off Roman, but they don't actually have a plan apart from just, I guess, we'll do Brock Lesnar for a bit again.
Yeah, and the only thing I can see is Drew McIntyre because they fucked SmackDown in the draft. Yeah. So very, very interesting. I'm going to go through the last thing we're going to do before we do the outros. I think is probably appropriate is to just go through the two rosters and give our thoughts on like which one's better. WWE draft rosters. I just want to get your thoughts because I thought SmackDown got very hard done by in terms of they got Roman, but like obviously I think USA's reaction to the Fox tying down Roman, I think WWE were like, oh okay, we'll give you more of the mid card, if you know what I mean. I think there's a really big issue with having two big TV companies having your shows. But anyway, Kieran, so the men on Raw are Big E, Randy Orton, Riddle, Edge, Keith Lee, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Austin Theory, Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, Damian Priest, AJ Styles, Omos, Kevin Owens, Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, Finn Balor, Karrion Kross, Gable Steveson. I'm going to stop there. What do you think of the Gable Steveson stuff? Him getting the job, him going straight to the main roster without even wrestling a match.
Yeah. Balor and AJ Styles is cool. Same roster.
Yeah.
First
Drake
time ever, apparently.
Yeah. Drake Maverick, Reggie, Akira Tozawa, Chad Gable, Otis, R-Truth, John Morrison, T-Bar, Apollo Crews, Commander Aziz, Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, Jackson Riker, Veer, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, and The Miz. They've split up Veer and Shanky as well, which is very weird. But yeah, that is a strong roster, Kieran. And they definitely did SmackDown dirty there.
Yeah, maybe. I guess Raw's in a worse position.
Now, there's a name on this list Out of these people, Kieran, who do you think is going to challenge Roman Reigns? Because there's a name that apparently they want to push. Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre, Kofi Kingston on SmackDown, Xavier Woods, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss. Those two names hurt me. Isaiah Scott, Top Dollar, Shanti Adonis, collectively known as, and B Fab on the women, collectively known as Hit Row. Jeff Hardy, Jimmy Uso, Jay Uso, King Nakamura, Rick Boogs, who's hilarious, Sheamus, Eric, Ivar, Ricochet, Umberto Carrillo, Angel Garza, Cesaro, from NXT, Ridge Holland, Sami Zayn, Drew Gulak, Mace, Mustafa Ali, Mansoor, Jinder Mahal, and Shanky. Ridge Holland apparently is being pushed, Kieran. Is
Really?
in
Okay.
line for a big push. So maybe he might challenge Roman Reigns, but I just don't think I can see him being built up quick enough to be a legitimate threat, even though he's a huge former rugby player. And then before we discuss the women's rosters, 14 women on Raw, 10 on SmackDown, probably because of 3 hours. Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, Nikki ASH, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Nia Jax, Selena Vega, Doudrop, Dana Brooke, Liv Morgan, Mia Yim, Tamina, and Tegan Knox. And then on SmackDown, Charlotte Flair, B-Fab, Naomi, Sasha Banks, Shayna Baszler, Xia Li, Aaliyah, Toni Storm, Shotzi Blackheart, and Natalya. It's, on both sides, I think Raw's got. I mean, I know it's 3 hours, but like that Raw men's roster, Kieran, is so much more people to challenge Big E for that.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it is a longer show or whatever, but I think they're worried about the Raw ratings. I wasn't a lot of this last minute as well. Like Fox was expected to get some people on their show that they just changed their minds on last minute.
Yeah, I think so. It's everything's last minute with WWE at the moment. Ripping up scripts, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, so Kieran, thoughts overall on the Raw main roster right now? Like your closing comments heading into Crown Jewel and beyond.
Yep, it's a bit better. It's pretty good. I don't know. The show. Generally speaking, it hasn't really mattered what the rosters are. SmackDown's usually better, and Raw is usually worse. So I don't think it'll matter too much. I'm more so just worried about the Roman storyline because these drafts never really mean anything. They never really run out of opponents for anyone. The matches are usually pretty fresh, and then in a year's time they'll change it all up. So I don't know. The draft is always a bit of a non-event for me. I'm just looking forward to Survivor Series. That'll be fun. I really like the brand versus brand stuff. I know a lot of people don't, but I love that shit.
Yeah. So we're just over an hour and 20 minutes, and that's a really hefty like podcast, and it's good to be back. Hopefully we'll be back a lot more prepared and a lot more planned out very soon. We're gonna try and nail down a regular schedule, but we can't promise anything. But Kieran, it was really, really enjoyable to be back, and I hopefully we'll be back next week. It'll probably be on different days just because we're so interchangeable. But it is time to take it home. Actually, sorry, we haven't done recommendations for ages. So if you have any recommendations, Kieran, if you want to wax lyric about any movies you've seen, I really want to see the new Bond. Haven't seen it yet, but I've heard
apparently it's great. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch a load of fucking Bonds. I think soon. Let me just see what I have watched. Watch Sleepaway Camp, bad. Venom 2, I watched, bad. Clockwork Orange, good. Respect, good. Dora, the Dora movie. I don't think we've talked since I saw the Dora movie. That's really good. Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Should not be, but it just is. But the one people might actually be interested in. Netflix did a brand new special, WWE-based special, called Escape the Undertaker, where you play as the New Day and you make their choices on what to do, and you're trapped in the Undertaker's house and you're trying to escape from it. It's all right. It's half an hour. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun. The choice is limited. It's not like
Black Mirror.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot less than the Black Mirror one. It is only half an hour, and there's like most of the choices is like if you pick a wrong one, you'll just die and have to go back to the last choice. It's not like there's multiple different endings.
Does Undertaker kill him himself?
Well, he doesn't kill them, but he in my one, I got Kofi Kingston knocked out for a bit, and that's how it ended. Undertaker was like, "You failed," but then I just had to rewind back to choice. And yeah, I don't know, but it's pretty good. It's pretty fun for what it is.
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I've heard Squid Game is good as well. I haven't got into it yet, but I've
Neither have
heard
I. Yeah, it's
I've,
supposed to
I've
be
heard
fantastic.
I've heard the story of like the owner like having to like sell his laptop to pay for rent
Mm.
and stuff, and now he's got like it's reported it's projected to be one of the biggest Netflix shows of all time in terms of money.
It's definitely
Um,
like a massive phenomenon, and just the fact that it is a foreign show that needs subtitles on, and it's still broken into the mainstream is like a sign of just how amazing it is. I think Money Heist did a bit, but like the only other comparison that I can think of is maybe Parasite, and even still, that didn't break into like the mainstream in the way Squid Game does. So it's a fantastic sign for the quality of it.
yeah, very much so. For me, I've just been listening to a lot of podcasts. I actually lost my earphones. I haven't been able to listen to a lot at the
Oh,
moment. I need to get earphones. They are a very big part of a lot of people's life. I realize when you don't have them that you struggle. Um, but yeah, there's a like just look up obviously Jack Mate's Happy Hour. They've got a load of guests on there recently that are just really interesting. Few football manager. There's a football manager on there. They give a really cool perspective on kind of mental health and life, which I was very enjoyable. Very enjoyable listen. I just haven't had time to watch a lot of TV. It's been really weird. I'm definitely looking to see that James Bond film very soon. Um, but yeah, as far as that goes, I a lot of my spare time has been spent doing a little bit of college work and working on the College View. Yeah, check out the college. There's my plug. I'm the head editor of the sports section of the College View, but there's a lot of good arts articles on there, a lot of good sports articles on there. It's the DCU run newspaper. So if you're looking for some like local Irish news or some sports articles in our sense, there's arts that was some of my friends are running and just the news in general. Go and check that out and give us a few clicks. It'd be very much appreciated. Because a lot of time and effort goes into it for a lot of our writers and a lot of the editors. So go and check it out. But yeah, let's take it home, Kieran.
yes. Well, I have been your host, Kieran Brennan. With me, as always, my co-host.
The man that genetics forgot reading.
And as we say at the end of every episode of the hallway, you do it, Rain.
Hallway Listen podcast.
What do we say? Paprika Pringles.
Um,
Paprika Pringles are the best. I had 2 packs of Paprika Pringles today, like the big cans. They're so good.
paprika Pringles.
Paprika Pringles. They're orange. They also do peri peri chicken Pringles, which are orange. They're very nice as well. But I really like the paprika ones.
Sour cream and onion for life. And
Can't
then free my boy Kevin Owens. He innocent.
Ah, there you go.